Hey everybody, this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. Today is December 7th, 2020. I'm on my way to Nashville, Tennessee. Stay tuned, we'll talk a little bit more about what's been going on. Hey everybody, as I said, today's December 7th, 2020. That's 79 years ago. The attack on Pearl Harbor happened. That got the United States into World War II. It's a good time to remember. There's not that many. In fact, there's very few World War II veterans still around. I was lucky enough and privileged enough to talk to a few of them and to over the last few years. One of the things I used to love to do during Veterans Day, when we'd go, a lot of these places, when they started offering free meals to veterans, I'd love sitting down with older veterans and learning things and finding out, their experiences and stuff. So I said, if you're lucky enough to know a World War II veteran, or and many of you had them in your families, what a gift for to be able to have that experience and the ability to talk to them. Hopefully you had a chance to, if they're still, or if they're not still around. If they are, take the time to find out what their experience was like. Like I said, very few. I mean, very, very few. If you, like I said, 79 years ago, you'd have to have been, I'm going to say, late teens, and even then you're going to be, almost 100 years old. So, take advantage of it if you're lucky enough to still have somebody in your family that did serve during that time. Anyway, back to what's going on. I'm in Mount Vernon, Illinois. I'm on my way to Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to do what's called a T-call. Now, T-calls and repowers are basically the same thing. When we talked a lot, when I was driving for Stevens, about repowers. T-calls, like I said, are a lot the same. So we're gonna do a T-call on this. We're dealing with some stuff about the incident that happened a week ago. Got to go up to Indianapolis to do some training, to do a defensive driving course. But you know what? It could have been a lot worse. I do want to talk about just a couple things. Just my experience so far with Crete Carrier, and a little bit of difference. Just that I saw that I've seen so far. Last night I stayed the night at the Kansas City terminal for Crete Carrier, and when I go up to Indianapolis, we have a terminal in Indianapolis. That's a lot different than Stevens. Stevens has one main terminal in Dallas, actually in Mesquite, but in Dallas, that area. And then they have drop yards around the country where there's you can drop trailers and stuff, and sometimes you can spend the night there and it's sort of secure, but not very very many amenities, if any whatsoever. Most of them would have maybe porta potties or something like that, but no amenities so to speak of. But Crete's such a large company. Crete Shaffer is such a large organization that they have terminals, a number of terminals that have amenities for drivers: showers, drivers' rooms, laundry, all that kind of stuff that you can take advantage of. And that's what I did in Kansas City last night. That said, I had to sign some paperwork for the incident that happened. If I had a little issue. You can go back a few videos and see about it. But another difference between Crete and Stevens at least in just in my personal opinion, plus talking to some other people, one of the things they had one of the things that they wanted me to do in response to this, and I didn't think that it was something that was necessary, and I was able to plead my case to the higher up, all the way up to the vice president of safety, and to plead my case, and first of all, let me just say this. I know a lot of people who tried to get a hold of people higher up at Stevens and stuff like that, and it was really, really hard to do. It was hard to talk to anybody up on the top floor. It just was. And I mean, you could get there, but it wasn't going to be an easy thing. So far, that's not the case with Crete. I mean, I talked to my fleet manager and the fleet assistant manager, but the thing that impressed me the most, and like I said, even if things didn't work out the way that I had hoped to, if they hadn't have, the simple fact that I was able to call, leave a message for one of the vice presidents of this corporation, this huge corporation, and get a call back within about 15 minutes to talk to me personally about what my concerns were and everything, and to listen. You're not always going to get your way when that happens, okay? Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. But the biggest thing that I got out of it is that they were willing to listen and to converse. And I'm not saying that Stevens wasn't, but it was so much more difficult to do. It was so much, in this case, just the simple fact that I could call, leave a voicemail for one of the vice presidents of the company, and he would be nice enough to give me a call back and to listen to what I had to say. Like I said, regardless of what the outcome would have been or was, because I don't want to go in detail about that, but just the fact that they were willing to listen and talk to me about it, I really, really appreciate that. And that's going to be, that's I can see that's one of the reasons why a lot of drivers that I talked to before I came to Crete and since then have stayed for so long with Crete, and have talked about how driver-centered, driver-focused this company is, and I'm glad. It shows me I made a good decision to come here. So anyway, I still need to take my lumps. Hey, things happen and whatever, and I'm going to go. They're going to route me after I drop this in T-Collet in Nashville. We have a drop yard down there, I guess, and then they're going to give me a load that's going to take me through where I can do the training I need in Indianapolis, and then we're going to make sure this, the best that we can, that anything like this doesn't happen again. So, but I'm psyched. Another thing that so far, and like I said, this has only been a little over a week, about a week with the company, but I feel like there's a lot more freedom now. That said, it's going to be interesting to see once I get out of the onboarding asset manager, board, and get a regular asset manager, because I want to see how that is. I will tell you that I appreciated the relationships I had with my driver managers at Stevens. I could call them, talk to them, and go through stuff, and they would really help me out. But I just, for some reason, I just like, so far I just feel a lot more freedom with Crete, in some ways, and we'll talk more about that later, because this is going to be an evolving kind of thing as we go. There's some things there's more freedom. There's a few things that not as much, but we'll talk about that as we go. Anyway, I hope you guys are staying safe. I know there's expanded lockdowns around the country. Be careful. That's one of my concerns. Is catching this and then not being able to get home for the holidays. But so far so good. But I don't want to take too many chances. But stay safe. Wear a mask when you need to wear a mask. And I hope you're able to spend some time with loved ones for the holidays. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon, be notified when I post new videos. And like I said, feel free to ask whatever questions. One thing, if you're interested in coming to Crete, I'm gonna put my information in the comments below. And I'll put the number for recruiting down there. Make sure when you call them, give them my information so that they know that I referred you, and that way that'll give you a little bit of help to get through the process. So anyway, hope you guys have a great one. Again, this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. I am actually in Mount Vernon, Illinois, and I'm driving for Crete Carrier. And I'm psyched about that. You guys have a good one. We will talk to you later.